Tina here. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe. And if you click on one of these, see these little guys right here? Right there, or right there. Just click on them. Click on them. That'll help you. Okay? Today is Saturday, August 5th, 2023, for our current and our future time traveling viewers. Today I'm going to talk about the Gilgo Beach cases and that whole strip, that whole area there where the bodies were found. I want to focus on the cases that are 20 plus years old. So the first person I'd like to talk about is, and this is from the GilgoCase.com website, which is a pretty good resource. They haven't, although they haven't updated it to the Karen Vergati, the girl, a woman. She was 34. That was just recently identified. They actually identified her last year. They just wanted the family to not say anything, and they kept quiet about it. I'm not sure why, if it had something to do with them watching. They didn't want it to come out in the press. I can see that because they were keeping an eye on Rex Heuermann. That's what I'm thinking. And the reason I want to kind of go back to the older cases is because I do feel that there's more than one killer. I totally agree that this Rex Heuermann, innocent until proven guilty, has been doing this for 30 plus years. And so I'm sure there's more bodies out there somewhere. However, I do think there's multiple killers who use that area as a dumping ground, which is horrifying. Like one serial killer, bad enough. Multiple serial killers, horrifying. So let's get to Jessica R. Taylor. She was 20 years old when she unfortunately died, was murdered. She was born June 17th, 1983, and she went missing in July of 2023. Originally from Poughkeepsie, New York, Jessica Taylor had left home as a teenager, eventually moving to Brooklyn. She spent 3 years under the control of a pimp, Khalil White, also known as Remy. Now that's important. Occasionally traveling up and down the East Coast. She had made statements that she wanted to escape that lifestyle. During a trip to Washington, D.C., Jessica decided to return home. She left on July 15, 2003, and was reported missing by White later that day. Her vehicle broke down along the way, but she was able to hitchhike back to Brooklyn. She was reportedly seen a few days later, between July 18th to the 21st of 2003, at the Port Authority bus terminal in Manhattan. It is not known who recognized her there, although this information comes from the detective who investigated her case. I went to click on the story, but it's in the New York Times, and they want a paid subscription, and which is fair, but I just didn't want to go do that right now. And so this was reported in 2003, in December of 2003. So this has been an ongoing investigation with the people that have been found murdered there. On July 26, 2003, her body was discovered in Manorville, New York, at the end of an access road off Halsey Manor Road, just north of the Long Island Expressway. She had been dismembered, and only her torso was found on a sheet of plastic. The medical examiner estimated that she had died 2 or 3 days prior. She was not identified at this time. So don't forget, there's that John Vitrioff that's in prison right now since 2014 that was convicted of murdering 2 people. And so they suspect that he has murdered up to 19 people. So that's a serial killer, and that's in the same area. A tattoo on her right hip had been mutilated with a sharp instrument. The tattoo was a red heart with an angel that said Remy's Angel, in reference to her pimp. So that's pretty obvious to me. I mean, I know sometimes killers will destroy tattoos or finger, tips and dental to try and slow the identification process down. However, that's very specific to me. So, and detectives released photos of the tattoo in an attempt to identify her. A Washington, D.C. detective noticed the tattoo and linked it to Jessica Taylor 7 months after her body had been found. So whoever tried to mutilate it did not do a good job. Suffolk County Police obtained DNA samples from her family to compare, and a positive match was made. A private memorial service was held by her family in Poughkeepsie shortly afterwards. Khalil White has connections to the Nine Trey Gangsters gang. In an interview in 2016, White stated he was a gang leader. He served time in a New Jersey jail from approximately 2004 to 2006 for aggravated assault and sexual assault. So he's a bad dude. On May 9, 2011, a skull, pair of hands, and a forearm found on March 29th at Gilgo Beach was matched to Jessica Taylor. A statement from Jessica's family. Jessica is loved and missed immeasurably by her family. They are pushing for answers and will not stop until justice is found for Jessica. So hopefully they do find out which killer it was. Next one is Valerie Mack. She was 24 years old. She was born July 2nd, 1976, and she died between October and November of 2000. She was also known as Manorville Jane Doe number 6. Valerie Mack was last seen by her family in the spring-summer of 2000 in the area of Port Republic, New Jersey. She was never listed as a missing person. Her last known address was in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, where she had been working as an escort. She used the name Melissa Taylor. Valerie was a white female with brown hair and hazel eyes, 5 feet tall, weighing 100 pounds. These are tiny. All these girls are tiny. Even the male that was found, tiny. On November 19, 2000, the body of a woman was discovered by hikers in the Long Island Pine Barrens in Manorville near Halsey Manor Road. The body had been cut into pieces and placed in plastic bags. It was estimated that she had been dead for several weeks before being found. The victim was a white woman, possibly in her 30s, with brown hair. She was referred to as the Manorville Jane Doe. April 4th, 2000, a skull, hands, and a right foot were found in a plastic bag along Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach. These remains would be designated as Jane Doe number 6 until being linked by DNA to the Manorville Jane Doe. On May 22, 2020, police in Long Island announced that they had identified the Manorville Jane Doe and would be releasing her identity. A week later, an update was released. Her name was Valerie Mack. Police are asking members of the public to provide whatever information they have about Valerie Mack and the circumstances leading to her death. So let me just go back here, and I want to see something because, let's see what this says. Okay. Because they may think that, let's look at this, that possibly John Vitrioff is responsible for that. So, but I don't know. So, again, more than one killer. And even if there isn't more than one killer, even if it is Rex Harriman, innocent until proven guilty, their lawyers are going to be all over them. His lawyers are going to be all over that. And his lawyer, from what we could see in the press conferences, he's pretty aggressive and he's pretty outspoken. And you know he's going to go there because you got John Vitrioff, who's been convicted. You have James Burke, who, the chief of Suffolk County Police Department, that scandal, and he went to prison for a couple of years. You have the man, and I looked it up, that committed suicide after Shannon Gilbert was found, the millionaire. He owned a plant nursery and he did created an aquarium. So, and they had other suspects. So that's where. Sorry, I need to polish my nails. That's where his lawyers are going to go with that. So, I'm I'm just going to leave it at that because this video is running kind of long. It's 10 minutes. I don't want to go too long with these videos, so I'll just kind of come back to it. I might post another video later on and go over the other cases that the bodies that were found in Lake Karen Brigati. That was from 1996, Fire Island Jane Doe. Asian Doe, 1997, Tina Foglia, Foglia, Tina Foglia, 1982, 1982. So I'll come back. I would like to kind of review those cases and then talk a little bit about it, and just give me your thoughts in the comments. If you are following this case, if you have an interest in this case, what are your thoughts? Do you think there's more than one killer? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, always be you.